Dear Global Pioneer family, and all friends who care about the future direction of Pi Network. Hello everyone, I am Chung Liao Fan. Today is February of 2026. A full year has passed since we officially opened the mainnet. This year has been a magnificent one, and also a year of great sifting. At this memorable moment, I have not chosen to celebrate the growth of transaction volumes, nor have I chosen to showcase the prosperity of ecosystem applications. Instead, I want to sit here and talk with everyone about a very sensitive topic, one that might even make many old pioneers feel a sting of loss. Recently, while browsing community forums, X, and chat rooms in various regions, I noticed a very common question. This question hangs like a dark cloud over many people's hearts. An old pioneer who has followed us for 6 years sent me a long letter. In the letter, he asked, "Fan, I remember clearly that in 2024, the official announcement proudly stated that our active pioneers exceeded 60 million, and some statistical methods even reached 67 million. That number once made us incredibly proud, making us feel we were the largest nation in the world. However, why is it that today, after the mainnet has opened, in all official reports and ecosystem data, the core number you mentioned has become 19 million? Where did those missing 40 million plus people go? Did they abandon Pi, or did Pi abandon them? Why has the number shrunk now? Does this mean our network is in decline?" This is a very sharp, but also very necessary question. It directly touches upon the core, most painful, but also most real pain point of Pi Network in its transition from a Web 2 traffic platform to a Web 3 economy, the game between quantity and quality, and the duel between illusion and reality. Today, I want to ask everyone to pull up a chair and sit beside me. I want to peel back the logic behind this, like an onion, layer by layer, for you to see. I want to tell you why behind this seemingly reduced number actually lies the truth that Pi Network is stronger than ever before. First, we must clarify the definitions of these two numbers. This is by no means a simple numbers game. These are two measuring standards from completely different dimensions, representing two completely different worldviews. That 67 million referred to engaged pioneers. It is a broad, inclusive, and one might even say somewhat bloated concept. It included everyone who had downloaded the app, everyone who had registered an account, and everyone who had clicked the lightning bolt out of curiosity, conformity, or recommendation from a friend in the past few years. This number represented the breadth of Pi Network. It proved our popularity on a global scale, and proved how many human fingertips we had touched. It was like a flowing crowd in an open square, noisy and crowded. And the current 19 million refers to mainnet pioneers who have passed KYC and migrated. This number represents the depth, authenticity, and economic carrying capacity of Pi Network. These 19 million people are not passers-by. They are the true citizens of this digital city-state. They have passed strict biological identity reviews. They have obtained the digital passport to the blockchain world, which is KYC, and they have already minted their points into crypto assets and moved them into the decentralized treasury. They are the steel warriors who did not leave during the long wait, did not retreat before complex verification, and remained steadfast amidst market fluctuations. Why did we shift from emphasizing 67 million to emphasizing 19 million? Because in the business logic of the open mainnet, only the latter is true productivity. Please imagine if we were to establish a country. 67 million would be the nominal, tourists, and registered population of this country. This contains too many complex components. There are those who truly want to settle and build. Those who just pass by to take a look and leave. Spies holding fake passports wanting to sneak in to cause damage. And those who signed up but fell behind halfway due to lack of patience or forgetting their passwords. If we base the country's economic planning on the figure of 67 million, it would be catastrophic, because the majority of them do not contribute taxes, do not participate in labor, and do not generate value, whereas 19 million are the solid taxpayers, builders and consumers of this country. They are the people buying coffee with Pi in Starbucks, the people paying membership fees with Pi in Blind Lounge, the people hiring labor with Pi in Workflat. For ecosystem applications, and for those merchants verified by KYB, these 19 million KYC users are the target customers they can reach, serve, and generate profit from. As for the remaining 40 million plus accounts that have not passed verification or migrated, technically, for the mainnet ecosystem, they are temporarily static, frozen, and unable to generate any on-chain interaction or transaction fees. So, dear family, please do not view this as shrinking. This is actually a great purification. We used 7 years using KYC as a huge, precise sieve of time to sift out the sand and leave the gold. This 19 million is that heavy, high-purity gold. So, who exactly are those 40 million plus people? Why did they disappear? Behind this lies a thrilling war we fought against. Greed. A large part of this is the spoils of war from our fight against Sybil attacks. You may not know, but in the early days of mobile mining, in that stage where the threshold was extremely low, countless click farm studios targeted Pi. They used group control software, used thousands of cheap mobile phones, used virtual numbers, and registered massive amounts of fake accounts. In certain basements in Vietnam, in certain computer rooms, in Eastern Europe, rows of mobile phones were clicking the lightning bolt day and night. Behind them were no real people, only cold scripts. Their purpose was only one, to steal wealth belonging to real pioneers. If we did not conduct strict KYC, if for the sake of so-called good-looking data, to brag in front of the media that we have 67 million users, we turned a blind eye to these robots and let them all into the mainnet, then the consequences would be devastating. The massive amount of chips accumulated in the hands of these robots would pour out like a flood. In the first second the mainnet opened, they would ruthlessly dump the market, smashing the price of Pi infinitely close to zero. You, the real pioneers who set alarms to click every day, worked hard to promote security circles, and are listening to my speech at this moment. The Pi you worked hard to mine for 7 years would be instantly diluted into waste paper by these cheaters. Therefore, this disappeared number contains tens of millions of robots and fake accounts intercepted by the system, identified by algorithms, and shut out by KYC. This is the highest protection for the asset security of the 19 million real pioneers. We would rather the numbers look a bit ugly. We would rather be questioned by the outside world about stagnant growth, to ensure the cleanliness of the network, ensuring that every circulating Pi is minted by real people using time and attention, not generated by machines. Of course, we must honestly, and with regret, admit that this gap of over 40 million indeed includes some real pioneers. They are not robots. They are flesh and blood people. However, they fell behind for various reasons. Some changed their phones in 2021, but forgot to back up their passphrases, forever losing access to their accounts. This is the cruelest rule of the cryptocurrency world. Private keys equal ownership. Lost is lost. Some, having no patience to wait for the KYC queue, uninstalled the app in a fit of anger on a certain morning in 2023 or 2024, cutting off contact forever. Some chose to give up voluntarily because they were disappointed with the price or believed rumors from the outside world that PI is a scam. For this group of people, I feel deep regret. As a founder, I bear responsibility because our education work was not done well enough, and our KYC speed was indeed too slow at one point, wearing down their confidence. However, from a sociological perspective, this is also an inevitable natural selection in any great long march. The wealth of cryptocurrency has always been a reward for long-termists, not alms for passers-by. These 7 years were like a long marathon. At the start, there was a sea of people, but those who could persist through half the course, run to the finish line, and persist in completing the final sprint of KYC, were destined to be the minority. The 19 million people who remained are elites who have passed the quadruple test of time, patience, faith, and operational ability. Your consensus density is countless times higher than those loose 67 million people. You are the cornerstone of Pi network, the spark of the future. Let us raise our perspective again and look at this number from the compliance angle of global financial regulation. Today, in 2026, cryptocurrency is no longer a land outside the law. The EU's MiCA regulation, the US Anti-Money Laundering Act, and financial regulations in Asian countries have woven a tight net. Regulators no longer tolerate the existence of an anonymous, untraceable, massive financial network. If we still claim to possess 67 million users, but 40 million plus of them were anonymous and unidentified. Then, when we want to connect with the banking system, when we want StarMax to integrate fiat payment, when we want Pi to list on compliant exchanges, regulators would ask us a fatal question. Who are these 67 million people? Who are you serving? How many terrorists are in your network? How many money laundering gangs? If we cannot answer, or if our answer is I don't know, then Pi Network would be defined as an illegal underground bank. Our app would be removed, our nodes would be blocked, and our commercial empire would collapse overnight. But when we say we possess 19 million real users, verified by KYC, we are showing the world a compliant trump card. These 19 million people, every one of them can be documented. Everyone has passed anti-money laundering scans. Everyone is a legal digital citizen. This 19 million is currently the largest, compliant, decentralized human identity network in the universe. This number is larger than the total population of many medium-sized countries, larger than the total nationals of many small European countries. This is the confidence that allows us to dare to connect with banks, dare to connect with large commercial institutions, and dare to hold our heads high under the MiCA framework. This 19 million is our moat, our pass. Finally, I want to tell everyone, please never feel that 19 million is a small number. Let's find a frame of reference. Bitcoin, as the king of cryptocurrency, has a daily active address count of only around 1 million year-round. Ethereum, as the most prosperous public chain ecosystem, has daily active users only in the hundreds of thousands. The vast majority of noisy public chains might only have tens of thousands of real users. In comparison, the 19 million real holders of Pi Network is already an astronomical figure, unprecedented in blockchain history. On the indicator of real users, we have not only not lost, we are number one by a landslide. We are the undisputed empire on which the sun never sets. We no longer talk about 67 million because we have passed the infant stage where we needed to brag about registered users to embolden ourselves. A mature adult does not go around showing off how much milk he drank as a child, but shows how many bricks he can move now, how much value he can create. We are now talking about activity, transaction volume, ecosystem applications, and the number of KYB merchants. These are the true indicators of whether an economy is healthy. Those 40 million plus sleeping numbers belong to the past, while these 19 million active souls belong to the future. Dear family, please do not be anxious about the reduction of numbers. This is a healthy slimming down. By removing fat and building muscle, Pi Network can run faster, jump higher, and punch more powerfully in the fierce competition of 2026. As for those real pioneers who have not yet passed KYC, I want to add one sentence. We have still not given up. The door is still open. The self-service unblocking tool is still running. An AI review is still working day and night. As long as they come back, as long as they retrieve their passwords, as long as they prove they are real people, this 19 million figure will become 20 million, 30 million. But that will be solid, quality growth, not an illusionary bubble. Let us embrace this more real, stronger, and pure Pi network. Let us be proud that we are one of these 19 million because we are the survivors of this digital world, and even more so, the pioneers of the new world. Thank you, everyone.